this episode. Hey. Smoke weed every day. Alright. So for this episode I wanted to go back to a video that I'd done really early. I think it was my second episode, or third episode, where I showed you Nasya therapy, or nasal therapy. And there's many different kinds. Smoking is one form of it. Snoring is another. Oil is more common, as is neti. So for this episode, I wanted to basically talk about how what the book says Nasya is all about, or it's good for. So smoking is a hot and light type of therapy, but oil is a cold or warm and wet therapy. And another warm and wet therapy is steam inhalation, but oil is more heavy as opposed to steam, so it's more nourishing. And that's the main form of Nasya recommended. And it basically strengthens the sinuses and protects against all the environmental pollution. Okay, so let me get to it. Where was that? Oil as nasal drop. It's part of the daily routine. It's to be done before your meal, I believe, or before exercise, or smoking, or if you're just lightheaded and need to relax before sleeping, for example. So the nose is considered a pathway to the sinuses. Hence, medicinal preparations poured into the nostrils can reach every part of the head. Normally, oil drops should be added to the nostrils during monsoon, winter, and spring seasons. Not so good in the summer and fall, when there is no cloud cover. So these seasons you really need help. Your sinuses and your head need help, because it tends to be heavy, it tends to be more vulnerable, I guess, to disorders of kapha and vata dosha. So this oil drop should be done after clearing of the bowels, cleaning of the teeth, and oiling the hair. The head should hang backward on the back of a chair, or you can just lie on your bed, but they're trying to tell you gotta tilt the head back even more. And a few drops of warm oil should be placed in each nostril using a dropper and then inhaled. Oil should be applied in the nostrils drop by drop, in one nostril and then the other. And I showed this in my third video. I did a demonstration of Nasya therapy. So while putting drops into one nostril, the other nostril should be closed, and you're supposed to be breathing through the mouth. And any nasal secretions should be discharged also from the mouth. And lukewarm ghee is best. Ghee is clarified butter made from cow's milk because it provides relief in common cold and headache and other head disorders and neck disorders. And it also enhances the memory power. And olive oil and almond oil are also good for Nasya. But I gotta say, olive oil is more heating and more irritating compared to ghee, which is more nourishing and more lubricating. So olive oil is okay if you have problems with like if you're sensitive to cold and wet, because it's more dry type of oil. Whereas almond oil is more of a wet kind of oil, more nourishing. And ghee is more cooling than almond and olive. So it's good in the summer. Whereas this olive is good in the winter, I believe, and the spring. And almond is definitely good in the winter because you need more heavy stuff in the winter. Whereas olive is more light. So anyway, after Nasya, lie down on your back for a minute or so, but do not fall asleep. It cures all ailments that are caused above the neck. It is effective in ailments like spasmodic torticollis, which I believe is jaw problems, paralysis or strokes, headache, migraine, swelling in the nose, shivering of the head, and lockjaw tetanus. So these are very common problems I see in adults. And smoking helps, but Nasya is even more effective for many of these problems, especially the ones caused by the gas humor, vata. Kapha is helped more by smoking, but vata is helped more by oil therapy. So it also prevents early signs of aging on the head and other organs and reduces graying of the hair. Now this is definitely true. When I don't oil, my gray hairs increase. So if a healthy person free of diseases takes an oil or distilled cow's urine, you can even use distilled urine, I guess, for Nasya, or fresh urine, I suppose, if it's sterile, if your organs are clean when extracting, and your system is clean. But anyway, when poured in the nose during Nasya, it's best for good health. So yeah, it's good for healthy people because it's part of the daily routine. So it should not be spat out. According to Ayurveda, in a healthy state, the best time for Nasya is generally autumn and spring, when it's neither too hot nor too cold. I gotta agree with that because I know for smoking, it didn't help in the winter that much because it's so cold in the winter that you want to smoke and smoke and smoke to warm up. But it's better to use other methods to warm up, like a fire. Although it's illegal to have a public fire nowadays. But it's everything, even existing is illegal without a mask on. So anyway, different times suggested for Nasya treatment according to the doshas and seasons is as follows. So this is a useful thing I've found with my smoking routine, that especially in the summer now, it's only useful after sunrise and after sunset. So that's exactly what it says during summer, in the morning and evening. So this is very scientific and very accurate. So for example, in the summer, and for example, if you're a kapha dosha, then for you it's best in the morning. If you're a vata dosha, it's best in the evening. But for pitta, in the afternoon, obviously. Then during fall and spring in the morning, winter in the afternoon, and during the monsoon in the afternoon. But we don't have monsoon here. In the case of headache due to vata disorders, hiccups, hysteria, spasmodic torticollis, hoarseness of voice, Nasya should be given twice a day, every morning and evening. So for Vata, it's best every morning and evening for all these disorders of the gas humor in your head region. Alright, so that was Nasya therapy. And just to comment on steam inhalation, like I said, it's a hot and a warm, it's a warm and a wet therapy. So it's very similar to Nasya in all the benefits, but it's especially supposed to be good for when you have fever, because I guess it makes you sweat out. It makes you sweat more than this therapy. So because it increases the heat so much in your head and neck region and your lungs, it basically kills the infection that you have and the fever that you have more quickly. So yeah, that's what steam is good for. And it also keeps your sinuses warm, you know. So in the winter, for example, or in the spring, like during coronavirus panic, at least the people walking around wouldn't be affected as much by the cold air if they had masks on. So in that way, wearing masks is scientific. It's a form of a steam inhalation therapy, kind of done to the excess, I guess. But it keeps your sinuses moist. It keeps them warm, so it doesn't get affected by the cold air and by the AC too. So I don't know. For me, it feels suffocating though, because I always feel like a lack of oxygen anyway. So it's like I'm getting even more carbon dioxide in my system than I need. I need more oxygen, you know. But carbon dioxide does help you get more oxygen, because when you hyperventilate and get more carbon dioxide in your nasal passages, then it bronchodilates your nasal passages so you can get more air into your lungs. So if you do it for a short time, hyperventilating into a mask or a plastic bag or a paper bag, which is a method they use, into a paper bag, by hyperventilating you basically cure like even issues like nervousness gets better. You feel less nervous, and you also feel like you can breathe deeper and more effectively. So asthmatics, I believe, do it when they have panic attacks or asthma attacks. So yeah, that's my comments on the mask, and we already talked about the nasal drop, which is part of the daily routine done after body massage and after cleaning your mouth and relieving your feces, like they said. And then you do exercise, because now your body is heavy and wet, especially your head. So you have more energy and drive after doing the body massage and the Nasya. And then you exercise and sweat out all the toxins. And then you take a bath and so forth. Eat your meal and then smoke therapy. All right, so that's on Nasya, more on Nasya. Till next time, see you later.